Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for this video. We are doing a party prep. This was just so much fun. This whole party was fun. It was fun to film, it was fun to do, and so I'm very excited to share with you guys today. But my oldest just turned 3 and he wanted a Toy Story birthday party. So I was born in the 90s. I grew up on Toy Story. I loved it. My brother and I even danced to You Got a Friend in Me at my wedding because Toy Story was like such a big part of our childhood. And I just love that it's like made a comeback and people love it too now. But anyway, this is 3 days before the party. This is Wednesday night. The party was on Saturday and I am just getting out our backdrop just to lay it out to try and get the creases out of it. I don't know if it actually does anything, but in my mind it does. And I'm gonna string the banner. This is something that you can obviously do several days ahead of time. And I feel like in the past for my kids' birthday parties, the last thing I do the night before the party when it's like 1 a.m. is hang the banner, and I take it out and I forget that I have to actually string it. And then I'm like, no, I'm so tired. I just want to go to bed. I don't want to do this right now. So I'm gonna try and remember from now moving forward, string the banner a few days in advance so that you're not doing it the night before. Also, how cute is this banner? I love how they included every single character and all the letters, just so cute. So it's the next day now, it's Thursday, and I'm doing this during nap time. I'm starting on a DIY. Now, I am not like a crafty person. I have zero confidence whenever it comes to doing things like DIYs. I hardly ever do them, but this was so easy. So if you feel like you're not that good at that kind of stuff, I promise you can do this. The hardest part was finding these boxes because it seems like all boxes are rectangles and you need to have squares for these, but we found these at Office Depot. And I'm basically making like toy blocks, like the letter blocks. I'm making Jonah's name. Anytime I got on Pinterest and searched Toy Story birthday decorations, these always popped up. So I was like, okay, they're so cute. I really want to try and make them. So right now I'm just going to assemble the boxes. And then now I am getting started on making the colors for the corners. I'm just using duct tape. I got this at Walmart. I just picked up blue, yellow, and red because that's just what Walmart had. Green, orange, those would be really cute colors as well. And then I'm going to cut out each letter of his name to put in the middle of this. Now I did get on Google and just search like J bubble letter. I did that for all the letters, even the easy ones, just because it's nice just to have a visual to see like with spacing and things. That really helped me out. And then with the tape, you don't need to do every single side. The first like 1 or 2 blocks, I was doing all the sides, and then I realized if there's gonna be stacked on top of each other up against a wall, I don't need to do all the sides. Like that just felt like a waste of tape and a waste of time. So after like 1 or 2 blocks, I realized I didn't need to do that. But yeah, so all of the like blogs that I read on how to do this and all the YouTube videos I watched, everyone had a Cricut. I do not own a Cricut. I would love to own a Cricut, but they're very expensive. Maybe one day I'll get one, but I don't have one, so that is why I just did like freehand drawing for the letters, and I cut them out and glued them on. It was really easy. Obviously, it doesn't look perfect, but like no one cares, no one notices. Like if your O isn't like perfectly round, it's not that big of a deal. So I hope that this helps some people just feel a little bit better. You don't need a fancy $300 piece of equipment to do something like this. If you have it, then that's awesome. I would love it, like I said, but you don't need it, so you got this. Okay, so now it is Thursday night. The kids are in bed. Those 2 letters were the only ones that I got done during nap time. I didn't have time to do any more. So now I'm going to start on baking the cake before I keep doing the boxes, so that obviously the cake can bake while I finish that up. Those boxes were really time consuming. I'm very glad that I did not wait until the night before from the party to do them. There's no way. Yeah, don't do that. Maybe if you have a Cricut, I don't know, but I'm glad that I did it a couple days in advance. So anyway, now I'm baking the cake. I'm just using box mix. I mean, I know I could make a cake from scratch, but I do all the decorating, like I decorate the cake and the cupcakes, and so I just feel like that's enough work. I just take the easy way out and I do a box mix and it tastes totally fine, so don't feel bad about doing a box mix. But anyway, now we are back in the basement and I'm going to finish up these blocks.
Whenever I see you, you stole my heart. What is it that you do? Great till you added colors. Like the moon needs the sun, we don't care about the others. You set my world on fire. You're my heart's desire. I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Please tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire. You set my world on fire. I don't know.
So the next party prep video that will be up on my channel will be in January. My daughter will be turning 2. Of course, that's several months away. So I have plenty of time to figure out what I'm doing for that, but I love doing my kids' birthday parties, and so I just love thinking like ahead of time, themes and decorations and all that kind of stuff. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna do Minnie Mouse. At first I was thinking unicorn would be really cute, and I still think it would be really cute, but I just decided she's really been into Minnie Mouse lately, so I just think that's like a lot more appropriate. And then when she's older, I mean, like 5-year-olds want unicorn parties, whereas I feel like Minnie Mouse is more appropriate for a 2-year-old. She probably won't want that like later on whenever she's in school or something. So yeah, pretty sure we're gonna do Minnie Mouse. I did just recently discover that Squishmallow parties are a thing, and she loves Squishmallows, but I just feel like that would be really, really difficult to make into like an entire party. I don't know. I haven't like looked into anything on Amazon or anything, but yeah, let me know if you've done a Minnie Mouse party. Give me some ideas, or if you have a daughter, what is your favorite birthday theme that you've done? Like, what is the most fun theme to decorate for? I need some ideas.
I know what it is you do. I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Just tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire. You set my world on fire. Like a fire, we burn so bright. I was day and you were night. Like a spark, we were quick to ignite. Then you ask yourself, is it worth this fight? I love you so much sometimes, baby, I felt like I couldn't breathe. When I look in your eyes, I know I'm right here where I need to be. This could be the last time we see each other, but I wanted you to know that this ain't over. If you fall, I'll pick you up, never too much. Carry these memories till we're catch me falling down.
So now I'm upstairs checking on the cakes. They did need a couple more minutes. I think I put them in for like 3 minutes after this. And then they were perfect. And I forgot to mention I'm doing 3. I think these are 6-inch pans, or like maybe 6.5. I only own 2 of them though, so I'm kind of like baking in batches. But here is the finished product on the box. What do you guys think? I think they're so cute. Like I said, the letters aren't perfect, so I just do it myself, but it doesn't matter. I think they're so cute and it was totally worth all the time. And it's been like almost a week now since the party and the kids are still playing with them in the living room. I have not gotten rid of them yet. So the cakes are done. I take them out of the oven and then I let them cool in the pan for 10 minutes and then I put them on the cooling rack and let them cool completely. Okay, all 3 cakes are done. It's much later in the evening. As you can tell, I'm going to saran wrap them before I go to bed, and then I'm going to keep them in the fridge because like I said, this is Thursday night, the party's on Saturday, so I want to make sure that they are nice and fresh.
This could be the last time that we see each other, but I wanted you to know that this ain't over. If you fall, I'll pick you up, never too much.
Okay, we are moving on to Friday now. This is the day before the party. I am doing this during nap time. I am making the cupcakes. So we did chocolate for the cake. Jonah wanted chocolate. He's a chocolate kid. It's not my favorite. I'd much prefer vanilla, but I guess he takes after his dad with that. So since he wanted a chocolate cake, I decided just to do yellow cupcakes so people like me who prefer anything other than chocolate had an option as well. So usually I use an ice cream scoop for this portion. It is like the best thing ever. All the cupcakes are the exact same size and it's so easy, but ours broke and then I ordered another one and it didn't come in time. So I had to do it the old school way. But yeah, baking the cupcakes was the only thing I could do during nap time. I just can't like do any of this stuff whenever the kids are awake. My mom texted me at like 9:30 the night before the party asking me if I was ready and I was like, no, I just barely finished the cake and I still have the balloon arch to do and decorate the cupcakes. So no, I was not ready at 9:30. And just like I need to buy a 3rd cake pan, I also need to buy another cupcake tin. I always forget that these boxes do 2 dozen and I only have 1 of the 1 dozen cupcake tins. So yeah, need to do another one, but I'm just doing 2 batches. Okay, now we are moving on to the most, I don't want to say dreadful because I look forward to doing the cake, but definitely the most stressful part of the whole party. I am going to get to work on the cake. It's Friday night, the kids are in bed, and I am starting off by leveling off the cakes. I am using canned frosting. I think next time I'm going to try and make my own because I've just heard it's a lot easier to decorate with, and I'm sure it tastes a lot better as well. So yeah, maybe I'll try that next time. I don't know why, for some reason that just seems like very intimidating for me to do. Although, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you have like a good frosting recipe. I'm sure I can find 100 like on Pinterest. I just don't even know where to begin with that because I've never made my own frosting. But anyway, right now I'm just assembling the cake and I am starting on my crumb coat, and then I will put it in the freezer for 15 minutes. Okay, so now I am getting started on my actual icing on top of the crumb coat. Now my plan, Joan wanted a Buzz Lightyear cake. So my plan was to do a striped cake. If you look up like Buzz Lightyear cake on Pinterest, there's like a very popular one that's like all fondant and it looks like the exact same design of Buzz's chest. And originally I was gonna try and do that. I'm honestly really glad I didn't. Because that would have been so much work, and I'm not very familiar with fondant. I used it last year on his cake, but I didn't cover the cake in it, which I'll insert a picture of the cake here because I wasn't doing YouTube at that point, so you guys haven't seen it. I was very proud of that cake, and if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm not a professional by any means. I'm just a mom trying to do something fun for her kids. I love making their cakes though, and my mom always made our cakes whenever we were growing up, and it was always really special, so I want to do that for my kids as well. So I was going to do a striped cake with Buzz colors. So I had never done a striped cake before. I had watched many videos on how to do it, and I had gathered the information that is really important for this layer of icing here to be very thick, so that whenever you use a cake comb to cut into the cake, there's like enough of the icing that it actually makes like a substantial indent to then fill it in. I hope I'm making sense. However, this did not go according to plan because you'll see whenever I get my cake comb out, the lip on this like cake stand that is on prevented me from being able to evenly put the cake comb in. By the way, I'm freezing it for 15 minutes. So while that is happening, I'm going to make my frosting colors. I'm doing purple, green, and black. So right now I'm making the purple. I'm starting off with like normal red and blue, and then I'll add in some neon purple as well. I honestly wasn't super happy with these colors. I know I'm just being hard on myself. I just couldn't get it as vibrant as I wanted. I even brought like our Buzz toy over to try and match the colors. I wasn't anywhere close. So I don't know like what to do to make it a deeper purple, but I just felt like the more dye I was adding, it started to look kind of gray, which Alex was like, oh, well, like it works out because it looks like space. And I know he was right, it was fine. But my mom told me, I didn't know this until the party when I was talking to her about this. She said it can take up to 24 hours for frosting, like if you're dyeing it for the color to actually look how it's going to look, which I didn't know that. So anyway, I'm just gonna keep adding some dye until I realize I need to stop. Okay, so as I prepare each frosting, I'm going to put it in the fridge just so that it doesn't like get melty or anything. Whenever you're like stirring it a lot like this, it just kind of warms it up, and then whenever you use your hands, it makes it warm. So right now I am using chocolate frosting to make the black. This was like a little hack that my mom taught me. I didn't even think about it, but it makes total sense to use chocolate frosting, so you have to use less dye. So I hardly had to use any dye to make a black. And now I'm making the green. I am mixing normal green and neon green, and I couldn't get it as dark as I wanted. And so I decided to add a drop of the black, and that was totally a mistake because then it turned like a grayish green. So I'm trying to add in like more white and then more neon to make it look however it looked before I added the black. And I don't know, it kind of matched like the same hue as the purple, so I know it was totally fine. But yeah, the biggest thing about this cake was I wasn't a huge fan of the colors. So if anyone has any tips whenever it comes to making frosting and dyeing it, please let me know in the comments. So now I'm getting started on attempting to make the stripes, and I'm using this cake comb that I got from Hobby Lobby, and like you can see, this lip on the I don't even know what this is called, the cake stand thing, it just didn't let me do it. So I couldn't get the clean lines, and I was telling Alex like I totally messed this cake up. So I decided my plan B was just to go ahead and make the stripes, and then I knew they weren't going to be like perfect clean lines like I had envisioned that they would be, but I was like maybe they'll still come out even if the colors like blend in together a little bit. And I was worried that it was gonna just turn into like one color and then be like a grayish brown, and then I really wouldn't know what to do. But it actually turned out really cute for like being a plan B and my original plan not working out, and thinking at first that I totally ruined it. I feel like it turned out really, really cute. So now I'm smoothing out the sides, and I can see that the stripes are forming and that it actually looks halfway decent. I'm telling Alex like, oh my gosh, I think I actually saved this cake, because a couple clips ago I was like, I totally ruined this. I did stay calm, surprisingly, because in the past, every single time I've made a cake, in the middle of it, I inevitably have a meltdown and start crying and tell Alex, why did I think I could do this? This is why everyone hires someone to do it. But I was pretty happy with this, and I'm glad that I just stuck with something simple, just like the colors, just like the Buzz Lightyear colors, and doing stripes as opposed to trying to do something super extravagant. I also had to keep in this real life clip of Alex trying to kill a fly that was driving him crazy. So anyway, now I'm adding some cornstarch to my counter, and I'm going to roll out this fondant. I got this at Michael's, and then I got a 3 cookie cutter. I wanted the cake to have a 3 on it, obviously, since he's turning 3, so I will add this to the center of the cake. And I'm really glad that I got the purple fondant, because while I was at Michael's, I was trying to decide between the purple, green, and black, and I just, honestly, purple was the first one I saw, so I grabbed it. And then I add sprinkles to the bottom of the cake, and once I did that, I was like, oh man, I wish I didn't do that, because it covered up one of the purple stripes, and then there's only one purple stripe visible on the cake. So I kind of didn't like the sprinkles after I added them. They're like space themed, you'll see them in a second. But the next morning when Jonah came down, he saw the cake and he was like, oh, sprinkles! Like, he was really excited about that. So it's okay that the sprinkles were there, but I'm glad that I put the 3 on it. So here's the finished cake. The cake topper is from Amazon. What do you guys think? I think it's pretty cute. Let me know in the comments. But here I am now frosting the cupcakes. So these are going to be like the little alien guys from Toy Story. So that's why I did the blue cupcake liners. And then I made another batch of green icing because I didn't want that like grayish green on here. So now I'm just going to frost them, and then I'm going to add little candy eyes. I had these left over from Halloween, but they have them at Michael's like year round. So I'm going to add 3 little candy eyes, and then they're going to look like the little aliens. I thought these were so cute. Okay, so these are the finished cupcakes. What do you guys think of them? Everyone at the party thought that they were absolutely adorable. So now we're moving on to the balloon art, and the balloons, Alex was blowing them up while I was doing the cake and the cupcakes. So I'm starting to assemble the balloon arch. This is like, not that it's hard, but it's tedious. Like, it's very time consuming. It feels like a pretty big project. While I was in the middle of the cake, Alex was like, I'm assuming we're not doing a balloon arch, because I guess like he hadn't heard me talk about it. And I was like, no, we are. And he was like, are you kidding me? Because it was like almost 10 o'clock then. I was like, yeah, like the night's just getting started. So we do have a balloon pump. It's really cheap. You can get them on Amazon for like $20. And if you're gonna do a balloon arch yourself, I highly suggest getting a balloon pump. Last year, I was just trying to like save money wherever I could, and I thought, oh, we don't need to spend 20 bucks on a balloon pump. I can easily blow up all the balloons myself. And I blew up every single balloon with my lungs, and I literally lost my voice. I didn't, like, my voice was raspy for days after, like at least a week after, and my chest burned. Like, I felt like I had a chest cold. It was horrible. So yeah, don't do what I did. Spend the 20 bucks if you have it and get yourself a balloon pump. But I love doing the balloon arches. Yes, they're a lot of work, but they add so much to the party. So just in case anyone's wondering, because I'm nosy and I like to know these things whenever I watch these kind of videos too, we did the party at 11 a.m., which I really liked. This was our first time not doing it in the afternoon. We've always either done 1 or 2 o'clock, specifically because Alex's family lives 3 hours away. His parents always come to the parties, and so I don't want them to have to like leave super early, but it has been very difficult, especially now with having 2 of them, to keep the house clean and presentable and ready for guests until 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I really enjoyed having the 11 o'clock party, and his parents still didn't have to leave like too terribly early. Obviously, they had plenty of time in the morning to get there. And then we just did pizza. Normally we do like meat and cheese trays with like crackers and fruit and stuff like that, which is easy too, but I feel like once you get 3 or 4 of those trays, like it's already, it adds up. You're not saving that much money. You think if you just do snack food, it won't cost that much, but I think the pizzas were like the same price, maybe even a little bit less, and everyone loves pizza. And it was easy for us because we just scheduled it to be delivered at 11, so whenever they came, we just set them up, and that was like all we had to do. We also got some chips and obviously had like, you know, drinks, and we always do water and lemonade, and then we had the cake and cupcakes for dessert, and my mom always makes cookies, so I'll have a picture of the island and how we decorated it at the end of the video. Also, I just want to give a shout out to Alex for dressing up as Buzz for the party. Both of the kids absolutely loved it, and it gave everyone there a really good laugh. Okay, now that the balloon arch is finally assembled and Alex is working on putting it up, I am blowing up this 3 balloon. This took a lot of oxygen. There's a couple times where I had to stop and like lean on something because I felt like I was getting lightheaded. But this again is just from Amazon. And I'm gonna use tape to put it above the stove here. And it was like 11:30 while I was doing this. I was really tired and just worn out from everything we had been doing. And I put it on there backwards, and then I got down, I looked at it, and I was like, something about it looks kind of funny. And then I realized it was backwards. So I went up there and I fixed it. Okay, we are winding down, we're almost done. I am going to hang up the banner. This is one of the last things I'm going to do. Okay, Alex was kind of having a difficult time with this. He was thinking that maybe it was made incorrectly because it like, if you pulled it taut at the top and then at the bottom, like the middle of it kind of bunched up, if that makes sense. Like he thought the measurements were a little bit off, I don't know, but it totally looked fine. And for hanging up the balloon arch, for Eva's party in January, he put command hooks up close to the ceiling and we just left them up, and we tie a string around the balloon arch and then attach the string to the command hooks. We just have like 3 going across, so that's how we do it. I stopped arguing with him about it the past 2 times. I've told him to just tack it to the wall, and he's like very against doing that because he doesn't want holes in the wall, which I get, but at the same time I'm just kind of like, meh. He says that I don't care because I'm not the one who's gonna fill the holes whenever we eventually move out of this house, and he's right about that. So I just let him have his way, and we keep the command hooks up there year round now. And my battery died, so I didn't get to film it. I'll put a picture at the end here in a second, but I did take that lamp out and then put the blocks right there, and it looked so cute. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it and gave you some motivation. Leave a comment down below letting me know what was your favorite part, and I will see you in the next one.